I want you to get this one very correctly. Do not chase high returns of 20, 21, 22, 25. They are promising you heaven on earth. Listen, let me tell you one secret when it comes to investment. Don't concentrate on chasing these high returns. You know why I'm saying so? Most of you are inboxing me and this is how you approached me. Hey, good morning, Joseph, or good afternoon, or whatever the time is. Joseph, I have X and Y amount of money and I want to get the highest return. What investments has the highest returns? And the type of the returns you guys you're telling me are unrealistic. Do you remember that video that I made and I told you there is one big city in Kenya, but by the way, the youngest city in Kenya called Eldoret. People were washed here in Kenya means like people were conned over, I think it was around close to a billion or 2 billion or something of sort. Because of, imagine this, they were promised 18% per month, 18% per month. Can you imagine this? That's like 216% per year. My friend, please, guys, let's be realistic. The game of investment, it's a long-term game. And instead of focusing, by the way, I'm not even telling you to, I've even forgot to tell you to subscribe. Go ahead. This is Good Joseph speaking. You know, I'm so bitter today, but on a good factor to help you in one way or the other. Go ahead and like that button or hit that like button. Make sure that you hit that subscription button. Why? Because I upload a video each and every day. So if you do that, you'll never miss good videos. Yeah, I'm waiting you to do that. The small button written subscribe. Hit it and make sure that you like the video. It does not cost you anything. Let's get on the business. By the way, don't forget to leave me a comment on the comment section. You find people are chasing high returns. It's like it's the only factor that most of you guys are looking. The moment you approached me on the basis of I would like to invest, the next question you're asking me is about what has the highest return. Please, there are very many factors to be considered when choosing an investment package and option. First of all, look, how is your capital preservation assured? 2, what are the track record of that given company that you're investing? 3, what are what we call, for how long have they been in operation? For how long have they offered that what they are telling you it's 20%, 13%, 30%? Some of you even are telling you that kind of a crazy amount of return. I'm not saying it is impossible. And I'm also, listen, this is my disclaimer. I am not telling you the moment you see 20% from a company, you run away. No. Of course, you want to make money. And I always advise you put your money where your mouth is. But at the same time, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, learn to make sure that at least as much as you're comparing on your, or you're minding the percentage or the interest in terms of the return, mind the safety of your cash, the safety of your money. Please, instead of chasing, for example, let us do a very simple mathematics, you and me here, all right? Because I love numbers don't lie. For instance, what is, let's say, what is 10%? What is 10% of 100,000? What is 10% of 100,000? Oh, 100,000. That is 10,000. Okay. What is 10% of 1 million? Is 100,000. Are we together? 100K. Are we together? What is now? See, these one are not crazy returns. These are possible and achievable returns. True or not true? True. Now, see, people are chasing 30% of 10K, which is 3,000 or 3K. Now, listen, 30% of 10K is 3,000. Well, I know it may seem, yeah, it's great, it's nice, it's amazing, it's beautiful. But now you look at something called the risks. I mean, there's something called risks. What are the risks involved with you getting this 30%? Remember one thing, there are 2 rules when it comes to money. And by the way, this is what has been shared with me by my mentor, okay? Number 1, never ever risk your capital that you're having, or never ever engage in something that is actually putting your capital at risk. Not at risk, you know, there's something called capital preservation. Always put your money into something that is assuring or is giving you capital preservation. Are we together? And number 2, at all the time, of course, don't make your money idle. Those are the 2 things that you're supposed to do. But if you go beyond not putting your money into idleness and you're going to invest, make sure that whatever you're investing into, that particular amount or that particular investment package does not risk your capital. Okay, there is a certain percentage of cash that you can put it at risk. For example, listen, let me give you a very simple explanation here. And I'm going to use the things that I talk about here almost every day. Let me use an example of shares or the stocks, depends on how you call them, okay? Or some of you even call them equities, okay? And let's use something else called money market fund, okay? You see, these are investment options, but they do not fall under the same category as far as the risk is concerned. This one has high risk. This one is high or moderate. You can call it moderate to high risk. And in this particular category of investment, capital preservation is not is not assured when you get yourself into the stock. Are we together up to that particular point? When it comes to MMF, this is a low risk and capital preservation is assured. Are we together? Let's say can manage to save 100K each and every month. Are we together? Now, it's logic to buy or to invest 90K into an MMF and 10K into shares. It makes sense. Why? Only 10% of whatever you are saving, it's actually put under what? A little bit of high risk. And of course, whatever has a high risk usually have high returns. And of course, most of your money is actually doing what? Your capital preserving it. That is exactly what you do. So when I say, please, do not chase these high returns. Are we together? Instead of chasing these high returns, focus on investing more. That is my point. Focus on investing more. Because if you focus on investing more, this is what happens now. Yes, the 10% of 100K or the 10%, let's say you only have 10,000. Now, what is 10%? 10% of 3K. That is like 300. Sure, that's not a lot, for sure, that is not a lot, but the point is this. If you, let's say you are saving, let's say 500 or maybe let's say 1,000 in a money market fund continuously. What if you focus on saving that 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 continuously? You give yourself a time. And I don't know why people behave as if you are getting out of this world like tomorrow. Well, I don't know much when I'm going to get out of this anyway. It's only God that knows. But the point is, don't behave as if it's an emergency. Because some of you are behaving as if it's an emergency. What you're supposed to do, focus on investing more. And I told you one thing, if you do not have a lot of money, leverage on time. Time is that great thing that can actually help you to realize that amount of money. Continuously, keep on pushing, keep on pushing, keep on pushing, okay? And consistency works. And I always tell you, if sometimes you feel like you can give up and you don't even know how consistency can help you, always come to this Good Joseph channel and watch my videos. And go to my like three-year-old video and check what I was doing and where I am and where we are going. That can tell you consistency, it's an amazing tool that you need it for the purposes of growth. Now, this is how it goes about. When you focus on investing more, at times you tend to kind of disregard the whatever they are giving you, and you never get them twisted. You know what? This is my principle. You would rather assure me, or I would rather be assured of 10% than a promised 20%. True. And that's why you find people are crying. Oh, I lost money with I don't know what. And some of you guys are even inboxing me and telling me, confirm for me if so and so it's a legit company. No, I don't confirm those things. That's not my work. Whatever I talk about, if it's not what I talk about here, please don't ask me those questions, whether this is legit. And I ask you a very simple question. What are they promising you? Hey, if you invest 10,000, you'll be getting, I don't know, 900. If you invest 100,000, you'll be getting this amount of. The moment you see that kind of a table, that's a scam. Don't even ask anybody. My friend, please, we are in 2024. We're in the era of information. Learn to read, to understand, follow people, listen, and be able to understand some things, and you do not fall into these traps. Again, I'm not saying that 20% in a return is not possible. There are companies that do tell you that. Even here in Kenya, there are companies that prospect of giving you that percentage. But let's be real, yeah? Let's be real. To what extent are they subjecting your money to? Or where are they investing? And where they are investing within the legit, what are the risks are involved in that particular investment? So that at least whenever you're getting yourself into an investment, you already know, yeah, they're giving me 10%, they're giving me 20%, they're giving me 15%. Where are they investing my money? How are they making money out of it? And where they're investing that particular money, what is the nature of that particular investment? We were having a discussion of a certain company here, of which I wouldn't mention about it. The reason why I made that video is to simply explain to you, it is always good to understand the terms and conditions and the nature and the structure of that particular package in terms of the investments. Is it regulated and all those kind of things? Reason why I'm making this video again, it is because some of you guys approached me, and some of the victims who actually lost money in those scams, they actually approached me and told me, hey, you know what? By the way, talking of scams and whatever, there are people who, if you do watch me from TikTok, there are people who are scamming, guys. They're using my name and they are telling you, I don't know, you do what. Please be very careful, be keen and cautious. My number is always on my description of this particular box. And I do not inbox people. And I don't reply text and telling you, I promise you, you can do. No, I don't do those kind of things. If you would like to get anything from me, you can also reach me from that official email or from that particular number. None, if it's a different number, that is not me. Please be very careful, keen and cautious out there in these streets. People are there just hanging around to scam people. Okay, now the point is this: it's always good to make sure that at least you understand what you're getting yourself into. Take your time, especially if you're I don't have much of a problem with the older people. When I say older people, I mean like quite over adults and what have you. But these young guys of 22 years old, 24, 21, 20, around that particular age, these are the people who they just wanna multiply their wealth at a crazy rate. They get into it, they make money, they just want yo, my friend, this is not an emergency. Take your time. Take your time. I know this may be the hardest information that you wouldn't love to hear as a young individual, because of course you are looking at the time you'd like to make as more money as you can. True, there's nothing wrong with making money anyway, but the problem is the nature at which you're actually making that money. That is how you're actually affecting your reputation. That is exactly how you're putting your money into risk, and that is exactly how you're losing money. And let me tell you one secret: not all of us fit for one investment. When I come here and I talk about money market fund, are we together? Not all of you, money market fund will be the best. When I talk about bills, when I talk about bonds, when I talk about shares, when I talk about equities, when I talk about things like balance fund, index fund, bond fund, rates, all those kind of things, not everyone will fit each and every one. It's always good, contact your financial advisor, whoever you feel you are comfortable with. If it's good Joseph, fine. If it's somebody else, fine. Whoever, just contact them. And when you contact them, get to be taken through step by step so that they can look at the nature, because they are trained, they know, they can look at it, where you are right now, where you want to be, what you have as a surplus, are we together, or what you're setting aside as a sacrifice for the purposes of you achieving that particular goal. And when they dissect that kind of an issue, then they can look what is actually befitting you, and then you can formulate a route that you people can actually follow to achieve that particular thing. So whenever you actually have an understanding, because some of you approach me and then, for example, I had a very young guy who approached me and told me, hey Joseph, I would like to invest, I have 100,000, and he told me roughly how much would I be earning, in, let's say, per month if I invest 100,000. I told him, okay, fine. If you take 100,000, throw it in a money market fund, you'll be getting around 11,000, 12,000 to 13,000 a month. That is like 10 or 13,000 per year. And that generally plays around like almost every investment that you have. The guy was so shocked. He was like, what? 11,000 per year, 13,000 per year, that's so small. And the guy was like, he didn't know there is a difference between investments and businesses, where you work for money and where money works for you. You have to understand, businesses have low risk, or rather have high risk and high returns. Investments have low risk and low returns. So you have to understand all that kind of nature so that you know what you need. And then I realized at the conversation, I realized the guy is interested with businesses, not investment. And I told the guy, what do you do? Okay, I do the, hey, you can do this, you can do that in terms of the business. So it's always good not to assume that whatever I talk here fits everyone. It's always good to make sure you understand what fits you, what do you need, and when do you need it. And that way you can be able to pick that works for you. And when you do that, that is the time now. These crazy returns that are given to you, these high returns that are being promised, you can be able to be good. And by the way, the moment somebody approached you with this kind of a returns, because let me tell you one secret. Most of the investments firms, whether they are legit or not, they have actually understood that most of you guys are interested on how much you make. You're not even interested on safeguarding your capital. So what do? They talk much about how much you will make, even without them saying, hey, guess what? As much as, yeah, we are promising you 20, the money is actually put under risk and the capital preservation is not assured here. But if you're not that kind of a guy, then there is another option here where you can put your money, you get this. Most of the people just concentrate on how much I will make. And that's why most of you guys are regretting whenever you get into some funny investments and then the next minute you are crying because the company has gone down into the down drain, or you guys, you having court battles, I don't know, you want your money back or something of sort. So it's always good to understand what you're getting yourself into. And this message, I'm sending it to young people or older people, those who are there and they actually only consider the interest. Interest is factor to consider, yes, I don't know what to do. And probably it's one of the biggest factors to consider, but there are other underlying factors that you need to consider as well before making any investment option. That is good, Joseph speaking. Anyway, that's the end of this particular video. But if you'd like to get it for my services, my number is always on the description of this specific video. Get it out there. Let's talk business for now. It's a goodbye and see you in the next one.